Our top focus on World DNA this morning. China, it's kicked off its 14th annual parliamentary meetings, which investors are watching closely for signals on economic stimulus. The meetings, known as the two sessions, release more details on policy plans such as the GDP target for the year. As of this moment, officials are presenting the report, and from March 5th to the 11th, the meetings will be held. Now, what is China's two sessions gathering and why does it matter? The two sessions are simultaneous meetings of the National People's Congress and the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference. While the National People's Congress is the legislative body, the Consultative Conference is a united front political advisory and consultation organization with no legislative functions. Now, what to watch out for at China's major political meeting of this year? First on the agenda will be Premier Li Qiang's announcement of China's GDP growth goal for 2024. Li Qiang will likely reveal a growth target of around 5%. The government report could entail economic strategy as well, with growth targets, deficit target, and this may be at a major turning point after 4 decades of growth that propelled China into a position of economic and geopolitical power. Then, smaller scale investments in science and technology could be on the agenda as well. High among those worries are national defense and security. Increase in China's military budget, which is second only to the United States. That will also be something to watch out for. Beijing is also expected to use these two sessions to complete the transition to their successors. It could possibly see a new foreign minister, new defense minister, or new state councillors. Those are the expectations from the two sessions. And to discuss this further, our Voice of America correspondent Bill Gallo joins us live from Beijing. Bill, thank you so much for joining us on World DNA this morning. Now, I want to start by asking you, what are the pressing issues, of course, at the two sessions this year?
Well, the big issue, honestly, is the economy for China. And there's many ways to look at that, frankly, because there's been a wave of bad news about the Chinese economy that has come out for many years now. I mean, the main issue here in China is the real estate market. Prices are so low. There are tens of millions of empty housing units across the country, and that's sort of having ripple effects throughout the rest of the economy. It's affecting all kinds of things, like the stock market, like domestic consumption. People aren't spending as much. Really, to be honest, people expected this to turn around after the opening of the COVID lockdown at the beginning of last year. It never really happened. And so sort of the big thing to watch here this week is what China will do in relation to the economy. The other aspect here, of course, is foreign investor confidence. You have seen a trend in recent years of foreign money leaving China. It's not growing at near the rate it used to. This is a major concern for China. They're trying to attract foreign investment to come back in. It's not clear, however, that they will be able to do so for reasons that I think we may discuss during this interview.
Right, Will, you speak of how foreign money is leaving China and the economic distress in the country. What is the mood like on the ground, given that the Chinese economy in particular has not really taken off since COVID-19?
Yeah, I mean, these events, the two sessions that are going to happen this week, the mood is always very upbeat because it's a very highly choreographed event. I mean, this is not really a parliament in any sense of the word like would happen in many other countries. This is basically, many media outlets call it a rubber stamp parliament. They basically endorse decisions already made by the Communist Party. So what you'll see in the official interactions this week in statements, I assume, will be quite upbeat and controlled. However, they're bringing people in from many different parts of China, and people know in those areas that the economy isn't doing so well in their local area. So they'll be coming. I don't think there's any expectation that people will air public complaints or things like that, but there's just a bit of uncertainty. China didn't hold this really big political meeting that it was supposed or expected to have held before now, where decisions are actually made rather than endorsed. And I think a big reason for that is Xi Jinping is going through a lot of troubles, and it's sort of uncertain what tools he has to fix them.
Right. Bill, let's also talk about new portfolios, if any, that can be expected. Since former Chinese FM Xingang officially resigned as lawmaker, is a new position expected during the session as well, FM as well?
It's not clear. I think we may get more word on that today as far as the agenda. Last year, these two sessions were heavily focused on personnel replacements and personnel appointments. This year, it won't be as heavy as a focus on personnel. However, as you have mentioned, the former Foreign Minister Qin Gong is sort of a big question here. He's not really discussed all that much in state media anymore. He sort of disappeared. Although recently we did hear that he was resigned from sort of a NPC, a parliamentary position, which suggests that perhaps he's not in as much trouble as had been rumored. However, we really don't know. It's speculation. We may get some word on that this week, and we may find out a replacement foreign minister. We'll just have to wait and see on that one.
Right. Thank you, Bill, for getting us the latest and joining us here on World DNA.